It started with a few words, careless, sharp, and spoken at the wrong time. Tony McGill, usually known for keeping a quiet, dignified distance from the Outlander spotlight, suddenly became the center of a storm. During an interview promoting a new business venture, a journalist asked him about Caitríona Balfe's long-running partnership with Sam Heughan. The tone of the question was innocent enough, something about how it feels to see your wife's chemistry with her co-star praised for almost a decade. Tony smirked slightly before answering, his words laced with a cool detachment. "Chemistry is one thing," he said, "but let's not pretend it's all real. Some people get addicted to the attention. Fame changes people. Not everyone stays humble once the cameras stop rolling." The interviewer paused. "Are you referring to Sam Heughan?" Tony didn't answer. He only smiled, leaned back, and said, "You can draw your own conclusions." That was all it took. Within hours, his words were clipped, subtitled, and posted online. The internet caught fire. Entertainment Tonight UK ran the headline, "Tony McGill takes a swipe at Sam Heughan." Fan accounts reposted the video thousands of times, flooding social media with outrage. How dare he talk about Sam like that? Caitríona's husband just insulted her best friend. What's going on behind the scenes? By midnight, #RespectSamHeughan and #Tony McGill were trending globally. Fan debates turned heated, some defending Tony's right to speak, others furious that he had disrespected the man who'd been by Caitríona's side for nearly a decade. Journalists began calling it the Outlander rift. Meanwhile, Sam Heughan stayed silent, as he always did. But the storm grew. Articles dissected every line of Tony's interview, comparing it to years of public appearances where Caitríona had praised Sam's humility, his professionalism, and their unshakable friendship. It didn't take long for people to notice one thing: Caitríona herself hadn't said a single word. For the first 24 hours, she was completely silent. No tweets, no statements, not even a subtle like on social media. Paparazzi caught her leaving the Outlander studio the next morning, head held high, sunglasses on, expression unreadable. A journalist called out, "Caitríona, what do you think about your husband's comments about Sam Heughan?" She didn't stop, didn't even glance in their direction. But her silence only made the tension grow stronger. Online, fans waited. Would she defend her husband? Would she defend Sam? Or would she say nothing at all? Then came the moment that no one saw coming. Later that evening, Caitríona attended a charity gala in London, one she'd confirmed weeks before. Cameras lined the red carpet, flashing wildly as she arrived in a sleek black gown. The usual questions, about the event, about her upcoming projects, came and went. But then, a voice rose above the crowd. "Caitríona, what do you think about Tony's comments on Sam Heughan?" She stopped walking. The photographers fell silent. For a heartbeat, all that could be heard was the clicking of distant cameras. Then Caitríona turned slightly toward the press, her face calm but her voice firm. "I don't care who said it," she said, her Irish accent sharp and clear. "Disrespect towards Sam will never be acceptable to me." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The reporters froze, stunned by the directness of her words. She didn't elaborate. She didn't smile. She simply turned back toward the entrance and walked inside, her posture poised and unshaken. Within minutes, the clip went viral. News outlets scrambled to report her statement. Caitríona Balfe publicly defends Sam Heughan amid husband's remarks. Caitríona chooses loyalty over silence. Fans flooded social media with praise. "That's our queen." She said it loud and clear, "Respect Sam Heughan." Caitríona Balfe just ended the argument in one sentence. Even journalists couldn't hide their admiration. One entertainment columnist wrote, "She didn't speak as a wife, or a co-star, she spoke as a woman of integrity." In a world full of rumors, Caitríona Balfe chose truth. That night, Tony McGill's PR team refused to comment. But by morning, He had disabled comments across all his social media accounts. Meanwhile, Caitríona's single sentence continued to echo, played on morning news segments, reaction videos, and talk shows around the world. The Outlander fandom called it the statement heard around the world. And though no one could predict what would happen next, one thing was certain. Caitríona Balfe had drawn her line in the sand. She hadn't defended her image. She hadn't defended her marriage. She had defended Sam. And the world was watching. She didn't start the fire, one fan wrote on Twitter that night, but she just showed everyone how to walk through it with grace. The fallout came fast. By the next morning, Caitríona Balfe's words had made global headlines. What had begun as a heated rumor had transformed into a movement, a wave of admiration for her courage and loyalty. The internet was ablaze, but this time it wasn't with anger. It was with respect. Caitríona Balfe shuts down negativity with class. She didn't defend gossip, she defended a friend. A lesson in loyalty from one of Hollywood's finest. Tony McGill, on the other hand, faced a storm of criticism. His social media was flooded with comments demanding an apology. Fans accused him of undermining his wife's co-star and longtime friend. Within hours, he restricted all public comments, and his team released a short statement. Mr. McGill's comments were taken out of context. He has the utmost respect for Sam Heughan and the work he and Caitríona have done together. But the damage was already done. Meanwhile, Caitríona remained composed, silent again, but this time by choice. Her brief but powerful statement had said everything she needed to say. And her silence afterward only amplified its meaning. Behind the scenes, sources close to Outlander confirmed that Sam had privately thanked her. An insider told the Daily Record. Sam was deeply moved. He didn't ask her to say anything, but he wasn't surprised that she did. That's who she is, fiercely loyal, honest, and fearless when it comes to people she cares about. Later that week, Sam finally broke his own silence. Posting on his Instagram story, he wrote, "True character is shown when you stand up for others, even when you don't have to. Grateful today." He didn't tag anyone. He didn't need to. Everyone knew who he was talking about. Within minutes, the post went viral. Fans flooded his comments. "You and Caitríona are the definition of real friendship. This is what mutual respect looks like. Outlander may be fiction, but your loyalty is real." It wasn't just fans who noticed. Major outlets like BBC Entertainment and Variety ran think pieces on the incident, calling Caitríona's response a rare example of dignity in modern celebrity culture. One columnist wrote, "Caitríona Balfe didn't speak as an actress or a public figure. She spoke as a human being defending another. In an era of silence, she chose courage." As for Tony McGill, he reportedly stayed out of public view. According to an insider, there was tension, but also understanding, between him and Caitríona in the days that followed. The two were seen leaving their London home together a week later, not holding hands but walking side by side, both calm, both silent. It was clear. Caitríona had said what she needed to say, and she wasn't going to apologize for it. In the following days, her quote, "Disrespect towards Sam will never be acceptable to me," became something of a rallying cry for the Outlander community. Fans turned it into art, shirts, even short video edits that celebrated her strength and loyalty. But it wasn't just about drama anymore. It was about values. During an appearance on a podcast later that month, Caitríona was asked gently if she regretted speaking so openly. She paused, smiled, and said, "No, sometimes, silence can be mistaken for agreement. And if you care about someone, really care, you don't let disrespect slide." That one line summed it all up. The host nodded, and the audience in the studio broke into applause. Online, that clip became one of the most shared moments of the week. Fans described it as a masterclass in integrity. Sam Heughan, while promoting his whiskey brand days later, was asked about her comment. He smiled softly and replied, "Caitríona's always been the bravest person I know. She's like family to me." That one word, family, sealed the story. What began as an awkward scandal had turned into a story of loyalty, friendship, and quiet strength. Fans who had once been divided now united under a shared admiration for the duo who had carried Outlander for nearly a decade. One viral fan tweet captured it perfectly. Tony spoke out of pride. Caitríona spoke out of love. Sam responded with grace. That's how adults handle chaos. By the end of the month, the media storm had passed, but its echo lingered. People weren't talking about Tony's comments anymore. They were talking about Caitríona's courage. At an awards event weeks later, a journalist shouted as she walked by, "Caitríona, do you have any final words about what happened?" She turned, smiled faintly, and said, "Only this. Never be afraid to stand up for someone who deserves it." Then she waved to the crowd and disappeared inside, poised and luminous under the flashing lights. That night, The Guardian published one final headline about the saga. Caitríona Balfe didn't defend a rumor, she defended a principle. And perhaps that's why the story stayed with people. Because in a world full of noise and ego, Caitríona Balfe had reminded everyone, sometimes, the fiercest reaction isn't born from anger, but from love, loyalty, and the courage to do what's right.